My mama is sleeping forever. Please help us, the small child cried, until the cowboy took her home. She banged on the wooden door with both fists. Not loud, just steady. Her bare feet bled on the porch boards. Her baby brother cried soft in the sack beside her. She didn't cry. Mama's not waking up. Please help. Her voice flat, like she'd already said it 20 times. Inside, boots scraped. A shadow moved behind the curtain. Mama's not waking up. The door creaked open. Sheriff Daly stood in the frame, shirt half-buttoned, belt unbuckled, gun holstered loose on his hip. Do I look like a doctor? She's in the shed. He stared at the girl. Who's your daddy? She didn't answer. Just looked past him. Sheriff leaned on the frame, spit in a can. It's late. She'll keep till morning. Mama's cold. Then she ain't waking up, is she? The door slammed. The girl turned. Stood still. Quiet now. From the road, headlights crawled toward them. A pickup, dusty red engine idling like it didn't care who heard. It stopped. The driver stepped out, tall, dust on his shoulders. Hat low, coat faded black. No badge, just the weight of someone who didn't flinch anymore. He looked at the girl. Then at the sack. Where's your mama? In the shed. The cowboy nodded once. Bent down, lifted the sack. The baby inside whimpered, but didn't cry. Sheriff opened the door again. You need to turn around, Eli. The cowboy didn't answer. Sheriff stepped onto the porch. Ain't your concern. Girl's just confused. She say she's confused. She don't got the words. I heard 6. I ain't ask you to play hero. Eli looked at the sheriff. No anger, just something deep and tired, then walked past him. Sheriff reached for the shotgun by the door. I said don't. Eli kept walking. Sheriff didn't raise the gun. Just watched him cross the yard, step over broken toys, and push open the gate that led behind the house. The girl followed, silent. The baby stopped crying. Inside the house, a light flickered. Outside, the shed waited in the dark. The wind picked up, just enough to lift the sheriff's badge and send it spinning on its chain. And from the trees, something watched. Something that remembered the last time Eli Granger walked past a badge without flinching. Eli pushed the shed door open with his boot. It groaned like it didn't want to let go. Rust flaked off the hinges. Inside, the smell hit first. Not rot, just blood, fresh and sharp. The mother lay crumpled in the corner, her hair matted, eyes open, hope still wrapped around her wrists and ankles. Dried mud across her cheek. One boot off, one still on. He stepped in, slow, careful. The floor was slick. A trail led from the door to where she was dumped. The girl stood outside, watching. Silent, Eli crouched. Lifted the edge of her shirt. The mark was there, carved deep, sharp and clean. 2 lines crossed with a circle through the center. His hands shook. Just once. She ain't been dead more'n an hour, he muttered. A voice came from behind. She hung herself. Eli didn't move. That's so. Yeah, depression maybe. You know how women are. She was hog-tied. She did that to herself. You nailed the door shut from the outside, too. Sheriff stepped into view. Shotgun pointed low. Not low enough. You want to put that down? Eli asked. No, the girl came in. Clutched Eli's leg. Her lip trembled. Take us home, please. He looked at her. Then at the mother. He picked up the baby first. Still breathing. Still warm. Then he lifted the mother, arms under knees and back. Blood ran down his sleeve. You can't walk out with her. Sheriff said. Eli looked him dead in the eyes. She's not staying here. She's evidence. She's a person. Sheriff's finger twitched near the trigger. You fire that thing. You better pray I drop fast. They stood like that, breathing. Wind rattled the shed. The girl held Eli's coat tight. He stepped forward. Sheriff stepped back. Eli carried her out, slow and steady. Dust rose with each step. Sheriff lowered the shotgun. You're making trouble, he said. Eli didn't answer. He walked past him, past the porch. Toward the truck, the girl followed, and behind them, in the shadow of the shed, something unseen began to hum. A low, dry sound, like wood remembering a scream. The house leaned to one side, like it had been waiting too long for someone to come back. Wood split at the seams, windows boarded, roof dipped in the middle. The porch gave a soft moan when Eli stepped on it. The girl stared at the crooked door. This where you live? You used to. You live alone? Not anymore. He pushed the door open. Dust scattered. The smell was old. Wood, sweat, something faintly sweet. The baby whimpered. Inside, quilts covered the windows. A rocking chair moved slow near the fireplace. Though there was no wind inside, the girl pointed. "Who's that for?" Eli didn't look. "My mama. She don't like strangers. You talk to her?" "Sometimes she talks first." They stepped in. The floor creaked. Nails stuck out where carpet used to be. Eli laid the baby down in a basket lined with old flannel. He walked to the kitchen, opened the hatch to the well. "Rope and bucket." He dropped it down. A long silence. Then a dull splash. He pulled up the bucket, poured water into a glass. "Drink." The girl took it, sniffed, frowned. "It smells like bones." "It is what it is." She didn't drink. The baby started crying louder. High and raw. Outside, wind chimes made from bone clacked against the wall. Eli lit a candle, set it on the mantel, took something from his pocket. The sheriff's badge. He placed it beneath the flame. The girl came closer. "What are you doing?" "Reminding it who it belonged to." She stared at the badge. "It's the same mark." Eli nodded. "I remember that symbol," he said. "From when?" "When my daddy didn't come home." The chair rocked harder now. Floorboards shifted beneath it. The girl moved behind Eli. "Your mama still here?" "She ain't buried." "You mean she died?" "I mean she never left." The candle flickered. The baby quieted. From outside, something thumped once against the side of the house. "Not wind." The girl grabbed Eli's hand. "Are we safe here?" Eli didn't answer. Instead, he stared at the rocking chair as it slowed. Once, twice, then stopped. "Dead still. Get some rest," he said. "We got things to remember in the morning." Eli filled the metal basin with water from the stove, not the well. He didn't say why. The girl sat at the table, arms wrapped tight around her knees. The baby slept wrapped in old quilts beside the fireplace. He dropped the mother's shirt in the water, scrubbed slow. Dirt lifted easy. "Blood didn't. Why you cleaning it?" The girl asked. "Clothes speak," he said. "To who?" "To whoever's still listening." He turned the collar, froze. On the inside, stitched with red thread, then seared through the fabric, was the same mark carved on her chest. A circle, crossed lines. The girl stood. "That it?" "Yeah." He rinsed the shirt. "Set it aside." Then he walked to the corner of the room, peeled back a loose floorboard. Inside, dust, a dead mouse, and a folded paper wrapped in wax. He opened it slow. The paper cracked at the edges. "Dated 1962. To be opened if she don't come home," he read. "What is it?" "Confession." "From who?" He turned the page. "Same last name as the sheriff." The girl came closer. "She was trying to blow the whistle," Eli said. "On what?" He looked up. "Something bad." The girl reached for the letter, held it in both hands. "My mama said the sheriff came after her. After she screamed at the town meeting." Said names out loud. Eli stood. "Looked out the window." The barn behind the house leaned more than the house did. Its roof half gone. Siding split. "I think your mama and mine had the same enemies. You think they killed her?" "I think they don't like women who remember." Silence. Just the creak of the old house breathing. The girl looked at the rocking chair. "Why's it moving again?" Eli turned. The chair was rocking slow. Back and forth, back and forth. "It's empty," she said. "No," Eli whispered. "Not anymore." He picked up the letter, folded it, tucked it in his coat. The baby stirred, started to cry. Eli walked to the fireplace, picked him up, held him tight. "We leave at first light." "To where?" He didn't answer. Outside, the wind picked up. Inside, the rocking chair stilled, but under the floorboards, the sound of something tapping once, then again, like fingernails on wood, or someone knocking to come in. Eli rode into town slow, the girl behind him, the baby wrapped tight in her arms. Town didn't look up. They knew. The courthouse sat crooked on the hill, paint peeled, flag torn. Inside, it smelled like mold and stale secrets. They pushed through the doors. Wooden pews empty. At the long table sat the mayor, the pastor, and the undertaker. All grey, all quiet. Eli walked up, dropped the sheriff's badge on the table. It clinked, rolled once, stopped flat. "You know what this is." The mayor didn't move. "That badge is evidence tampering." "Sheriff dead?" The pastor asked, voice soft. "No, but he will be if you don't speak." The undertaker shifted in his chair. "We didn't ask for blood." But you took the silence, Eli said. The girl stepped forward. Eyes fixed on the mare. She was my mama, she said. And I want them to hurt. No one spoke. The pastor reached for the badge. Stopped short. The brand? It's not just a mark. It's a pact, the undertaker muttered. With who? Eli asked. With the land, the mayor said. Eyes on the floor. The land doesn't bleed. It does if you cut it wrong. Eli leaned closer. Then maybe the land needs cleansing. The mayor stood. You think fire makes you holy? I think it makes liars visible, the baby cried. The girl rocked him gently. You knew about her, Eli said. You knew she screamed in that meeting. You knew what he'd do. The pastor folded his hands. We thought she'd leave. She tried. The undertaker looked up. You dig graves long enough, you start seeing the same faces twice. Eli picked up the badge, slid it back into his coat. I'm going to that barn. If I find what I think's there, you'll burn the town down. The mayor asked. No, just the part that stinks. He turned to leave. The girl looked back at them. You're all ghosts, she said. Outside, the wind kicked up bone dust from the steps. It swirled, then settled. Inside, no one moved. No one breathed, and behind the table the floor creaked, like something underneath wanted out. The sun had dropped behind the hills by the time they got back. The house looked different in the dark, bigger, sadder. The girl walked straight to the well. Her hands shook, but her face didn't. She held the rosary tight, kissed it once and dropped it in. The chain clinked, then disappeared into silence. Eli stood behind her. Why'd you do that? She never got peace? You think this gives her some? She always prayed by water. He nodded. Stay close. He tied the rope around his waist, grabbed the lantern, lowered himself down inch by inch. The stone walls were cold, damp. Halfway down, the light flickered, then steadied. At the bottom, he stepped into muck. He moved the lantern. Bones, stacked, scattered, tiny skulls. Broken ribs. Cloth still clinging to some. There's babies down here, he whispered. The rope above him jerked. Hey, it jerked again. Pull me up. He shouted. Silence, girl! Pull me. Nothing. He climbed fast, fingers scraped stone. Lantern banging against the wall. He reached the top, swung over. The girl stood 10 feet away, staring into the woods. You dropped the rope? No. Why didn't you pull? I didn't hear you. You didn't hear me scream? She didn't answer. He looked past her. Into the trees, what is it? Someone was watching. He grabbed the rifle from beside the door. Check the chamber. Where? She pointed. Are they gone now? He walked to the edge of the woods, quiet, still. Wind pushed the grass sideways. Inside, the baby cried. That night, the wind didn't sound right. It didn't whistle. It spoke. He sat on the floor beside the fire, rifle across his knees. What's it saying? The girl asked. He didn't want to answer. She leaned close. Tell me. He closed his eyes. Names. Whose? He swallowed. From the letter. She stared at him. My mama's name? He nodded. Yours? He nodded again. She looked at the fire. The well remembers. Eli stared at the door. At the nail that used to hold his father's coat. It remembers too much. Outside, the rope still swayed. No wind touched it. No hand held it. But it moved anyway, like something was up. Or out, Eli struck the match with his thumb, lit the torch, walked toward the barn slow. The girl stood behind him, holding the baby, silent. Inside the barn, it smelled like dust and rot. He kicked open a crate. Town records, stamped in black. Another read indigent cremations. Papers spilled out. Death logs, no names. Just numbers. Dozens of them. He ripped one open. Inside, a photo, yellowed. Sheriff's father. Boots soaked red. A shovel in hand, smiling, he dropped it on the pile. Lit the edge. Flames spread quick. Wood groaned. The girl stepped back. Don't breathe it in, Eli said. The barn lit up like it wanted to die. From the smoke came a voice. You don't know what you've done. The sheriff stood at the edge of the field. Rifle in hand, face pale, teeth clenched. Eli turned, slow. I know what I'm gonna do next. Gunfire cracked. Eli jerked. Blood darkened his shirt. He dropped to one knee. Fired back. The sheriff spun, hit in the leg. Fell hard. You're just like your daddy, Eli hissed. No, the sheriff groaned, crawling back. I buried mine. He disappeared into the dark. Eli tried to stand. Didn't. The girl ran to him. You're bleeding. I've been bleeding a long time. She grabbed his arm, dragged him toward the house. Behind them, the barn screamed as it collapsed. Fire lit the night. Inside it, the photo curled, blackened. Ash floated into the sky like old names, looking for someone to blame. Eli lay on the floor, blood soaking through the boards beneath him. The fire from the barn still flickered through the windows. He coughed hard, wet, red on his chin. The girl knelt beside him, hands pressed tight against his side. "You gotta stay awake." "I ain't going far," he muttered. She touched his face. "You're cold." He looked at her. "Slower now." "You got her eyes." "Who?" "My mama." Same look. "Like the world already tried and failed to break you." The baby whimpered from the corner, then stopped. Eli reached under his coat, pulled out the revolver. "Set it in her lap. Don't let them take you." She stared at it. "What about you?" "I already belong to the dead." The house groaned above them, deep, wooden ribs shifting. The baby made no sound now, just watched, wide-eyed, breathing quiet. The girl hummed something. A lullaby, off-key, old. Outside, wheels crunched gravel, slow, purposeful. Eli turned his head toward the sound. "They're here. How many?" "Enough." He coughed again. "Tried to sit up, failed. You remember what I told you?" "Shoot straight." "No, before that." She blinked. "Don't flinch." That's right. She stood, picked up the revolver. "Where you going?" He asked. "Front porch." "Don't go alone." "I ain't." The rocking chair stopped. Just like that, no sound, no sway. She opened the door. Men with torches stepped into the yard. Shadows moved behind them, quiet, waiting. The girl raised the gun. "Steady." "I ain't afraid," she said. The men paused. One took a step forward. "That's your daddy in there." "No." "Then move aside." She cocked the hammer. Inside, the well began to bubble. A thick, gurgling sound like something remembering how to breathe. Eli's eyes fluttered. "Don't let it out," he whispered. Too late. The wind picked up. Not hard, just full of voices. Names spoken low and clear. Names from the letter. From the graves. From the children who never got one. The girl's hair lifted in the breeze. She didn't blink. "You need to leave," she said. The torches flickered. Something groaned beneath the earth. The men turned. One dropped his torch. They ran. The girl watched. Didn't follow. Behind her, the rope at the well snapped tight. A hand gripped the edge. Eli closed his eyes. The girl turned around. "Gun still raised, Mama," she whispered. The wind stopped. The house held its breath, and somewhere deep below a voice answered, quiet, broken, "Baby."